Today we have a very special bonus episode of the Home Stager Marketing Show presented by Stager Sidekick. Hi, I am Mike and I am the Stager Sidekick, and today is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to go through a presentation that I gave to the Boston chapter of the International Association of Home Staging Professionals, which is BIRC for short, B-I-R-C. So in this presentation, I spoke with the group at BIRC at one of their meetings and talked about the hub and spoke model of marketing for your home staging business. So it's a very interesting presentation because it really goes through everything involved with marketing and how it all relates to your home staging website. Because, well, your website really is the hub of your marketing, and that's kind of what Stager Sidekick focuses on for home stagers and your home staging business, is helping you with your website. So this applies very well to both what I do and for helping out your marketing for your home staging business. So I just want to give you a little bit of warning before we start. Is that, well, for one, it's going to look like a presentation. I'm going to be going through slides. Well, it's actually just technically 3 slides, but I'm going to be speaking over them, and there is some animation within the slides to keep you a little bit interested. It's about 15-20 minutes long, and I was under the impression that I only had 15 minutes to speak, but I apparently had 30 minutes to speak. So during the presentation, I may be speaking just a little bit fast. So so just try to keep up. The final thing that I want to note is that there were a few questions from the audience that may be very difficult to pick up on the audio, but I try to repeat the questions and give you some context of what the question was about. So I hope you enjoy this presentation that I gave to the to BIRC, the Boston Regional Chapter of IAHSP. I gave it in June 2018, so it's very recent at the time of recording this. So I hope you enjoy, and if you have any questions, please let me know. All right, thanks.
Okay, so again, real quick, my name is Mike Jacobs. My business is called Stager Sidekick, and I make websites for home stagers. So you can visit my website at stagersidekick.com to learn a little bit more. But you all knew that because that's kind of the spiel that I give at the beginning of each one of these meetings. And sometimes I talk a little bit more, like a newsletter I just sent out or some other thing. But usually that's the information that I tend to cover. So when I was thinking about what to do for this presentation, I was like, okay, you guys, because many of you were at a presentation that I gave maybe 6 or 8 months ago or something, where, I mean, it was almost 2 hours of just talking about websites. So, and I couldn't believe that you guys weren't just completely bored out of your skulls. You were actually asking questions, which was fantastic. So, I mean, I've already covered a lot, so I was trying to think about what to talk about today. So, I've decided to, I'm going to explain a little bit about websites and how they interact with the whole marketing thing and how I can help with that. So I want to give a little bit of value with this presentation as opposed to just saying like, hey, I'm Mike, I make websites and over and over and over again for 15 minutes. So, for you. So today I'm going to talk about the hub and spoke model of marketing. So, so this is just one slide. So this will be great. So let's get into this. Okay. So first, this is very appropriate. So the first spoke is a newsletter. So I sent a newsletter out to everybody on the list. The list I have is from everybody that I have from BIRC is on the list. Is on my list. So if I don't have your email address, if you didn't get an email from me yesterday, I mean, please let me know because I'd love to add you to the list because I try to send out a newsletter about once a month or so that's kind of appropriate to websites and home staging and everything. The one that I sent out yesterday, if you hadn't read it, it was it was about websites for new home stagers and why they shouldn't use me for a website if you're a new home stager. And long story short, it's because a professional website costs money. It's something. If you're an established business and you're making pretty good money, you want a professional website to really represent your business pretty well. If you're a brand new home stager, you don't really have the money to spend on a professional website. You don't really have the assets like the pictures and things like that to put on a professional website. And you have time to actually make a website on a free website service like Wix or Weebly or GoCentral, which is from GoDaddy, and I reviewed all three of those and said which one has its pros and cons. So that's the type of thing that I put in my newsletter. And so the point of the newsletter is not just to try to get business from people. It's really to try to try to provide a value to my list in an area that is my expertise. So that's one reason why I do it. But another reason is really to try to keep on the people on my list. It's not just BIRC members; it's people from other people who have found my website, who have been added to my list, or I have some people from RISTA who are on my list. But it's so that I stay on top of mind for you, and so that if you ever know somebody who needs a website or service like that, that you think of me. So that's part of my marketing plan, is really just to give you guys help so that you hopefully send people to me. And then you'll also notice that on that newsletter, I also had links to the article that I had written, and to try to get people to my website. And also on my signature line, there's also a link to my website. So basically, everything that I'm doing with a newsletter, the goal is to, I talked about the goals, trying to provide value and all that stuff, but it's also to get people to my website. So the website is really the hub of most people's businesses. It's hub of my business, and hopefully it'll be the hub of yours as we show what's going on here. So the next thing is next spoke is social media. So hopefully you guys got my email maybe a month ago or so, which I announced that I finally got a Facebook page for Stage Your Sidekick, which was a very, very long time coming. I know that's pretty bad, but I finally got a social media page, and hopefully all of you have used some sort of social media for your marketing. I know most people are pretty comfortable with Facebook. Many people, Instagram is great for home staging. Pinterest, something that's very visual. Twitter, maybe not so great. But when you're thinking of social media, you think of it like use the social media that you're the most comfortable with. That's the primary when you're deciding which social media to use. And the second thing to think about with social media is what are your potential clients or your clients on. So if you're great at Twitter, if you love Twitter, but none of your clients are on Twitter, don't use Twitter. But everybody's on Facebook. So if you're comfortable using Facebook, it's great. If you love Instagram, I'm sure your followers love it if you're on Instagram. But the point of social media is really just that immediate update to your people who are following you. So if you post something on Facebook, it'll hopefully show up in their feed. Hopefully, it'll show up on their feed. But if you do something like Instagram or Pinterest, those are things that actually live on that site, so people can it's easier for people to scroll through those pictures. So those are kind of more longer lasting. But I have a Facebook page right now because people are on Facebook, and hopefully, if anybody knows anybody that wants somebody to make a website for them, they can send them to my Facebook page. If they don't like, if that person is more comfortable with Facebook than website. So that's the purpose of that. But you also notice that I have this little two-directional arrow again. Is that on my social media, I'm trying to direct people to my website, because my Facebook only has so much information about me, but I want to get people to go to my website. And likewise, on my website, I also have links to my Facebook account. So if people want to see some updates that I have, they can go to that. But most of my posts in social media are like, hey, I just wrote a new article, so come check it out. And so I'm always linking to my website. The next thing is networking. So this is pretty easy. This is what we're doing right now, but it gives you more of a personal interaction with a specific group. Like I said, every time that I come to this meeting, I've come every every week, every month, and I love speaking with all the home stagers here and all the affiliates here. But when I get up in the beginning, I always tell what I do, but I always say, and you can visit my website at stagersidekick.com. So even when I'm networking, I'm trying to push people to my website, not push people at that moment, but at least keep my website on top of mind. So if everybody knows my website address, and it's hopefully pretty easy for people to remember, stagersidekick.com. But there's other things that you can do to network, like other meetings or other groups you're in, like church and all those things. If people talk about business, hopefully you have an easy website address, so you can just say, oh yeah, I'm a home stager. Oh, if you want to learn more, you can go visit my website at blah, 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 blah. Wherever you're networking, you're likely pushing people to your website. Same thing with business cards. Now, a business card is it's not really a piece of marketing, but it's a necessary thing to have when you're networking. It doesn't really give much information about your business, but what it does do, it gives them a way to contact you. Hopefully they contact you by phone or email or something like that, but some people don't like that. Some people, if you talk about that you're a home stager and you give them a business card, they want to learn more about your business than just that possibly sales pitch or that conversation they had with you, so they want to go to your website. So your business card hopefully directs that person to your professional website. And oftentimes business cards get lost, they get thrown away, but for those important times when the person does care and wants to learn more about you, they can reference the business card that they placed on their desk and go to their website, go to your website. Shout out to Sharon. So another form of marketing is some sort of appreciation marketing, to where you're actually sending some goodwill to your clients or your prospective clients. And now, Sharon, hopefully you can answer this for me. When somebody sends out a card to somebody, how often do they put their website on the back of the card?
You can brand the back of the card. I have no stats on that because you can put whatever you want on the back. You can have before and after staging pictures with your website. You could have just a fun picture. You could forget not to do it and has the Send Out Cards website back there. But inside the card, you can put your phone number. And I think Nancy would speak on whether or not what's really truly appropriate for that personality. Maybe it's a phone number because that person would probably text or call versus going to a website would be more of a learner. But she can talk more about it. Right? You guys are so good setting each other up. You want to give very, you want to hit all personality types. Play it safe.
Play it safe. So I haven't used Send Out Cards. Shame on me. It's coming. Yet. I haven't used Send Out Cards yet. Have I received one? Yes, I did. I got one from Sharon. Actually, I did send out one. I sent out the practice one, and my wife was very happy to get a Christmas card from me. So yeah, I did, but I had my website address on there. So if she wanted to learn more about Stager Sidekick, she could have gone to my website. But no, so like Sharon said, so with some sort of appreciation marketing, there's other things you can do for appreciation marketing other than Send Out Cards. But Send Out Cards is a great example of this, to where you're sending your card out to your clients to thank them, or to your prospects to remind them of who you are and how great a person you are because you're sending them a card. So people like to contact people in different ways, whether it's by phone, whether it's by email, and some people want to learn more about somebody first by going to their website. So I'm not saying you have to have your website address on a card, but I would recommend it just because, like Sharon said, people prefer different things. So give people options, and it's free to put your website address on there. So why not use that space on the very back, on the very bottom, where the hall marker would go. So again, hopefully you send people to a professional website. We're almost there. So what else? There's other things that you can do for marketing, like going to trade shows, association directories. So like hopefully you all are on the BIRC directory and have your website linked, or the IAHSP directory and have your website linked, because if people do visit those directories when they want to find a home stager, and if you don't have a website, I don't know, some people are just apprehensive to call somebody if they don't know anything about that home stager. So if you direct them to your website, at least they can learn if you're in that, if you service their area at least, or what type of home staging you do. So that's really kind of the hub and spoke. So your website, if you're sending people all these things are sending people to your website needs to be professional, because your website provides the curb appeal to your business. And you all know how important curb appeal is to a home, because that's what you do. You provide great curb appeal to homes to make people, A, want to go or visit the home based on the MLS pictures. Two, if it's an open house or something like that, so they decide that they want to go into the house as opposed to keep on driving. And then the curb appeal really drives interest to the house and makes them want to buy it. So your website does the same for your business. So a poor website, it provides bad curb appeal for your business, and it's not likely that somebody's going to want to use somebody with a bad website, because it's how you're reflected online. So how professional are you on your business, depending on how professional you are online. And here it is. Stager Sidekick builds websites that provides that gives your business great curb appeal. So again, I've spoken about this before, but there's, from the newsletter that I sent out yesterday, there is a need to use something like a Wix or a Weebly or a Go Central for the new home stager who is just getting started. But then once you get established, there is a need to have a more professional website that gives your business great curb appeal. So again, here you can see the entire hub and spoke of how websites work. And so if I have just another couple minutes, I'll give you like a real life example that doesn't throw any home stagers under the bus. I'm going to throw, I think I've spoken with some of you, like we just got our building painted. I live in a triple decker in Cambridge, and we just got our building painted. All right, and then so the way I apparently was the one who was nominated to go and try to find painters and get quotes and everything and meet with them all. So I went around Cambridge, Somerville, and I looked at signs in people's yards of different painters, and I made lists, and I went on Google, and I searched for painters in the area, and I found a lot of them, and I called them all over, and I talked to them all, and they all gave their sales pitch and said, "Oh yeah, I'm the best, obviously." And then they all gave quotes, and they were ranged from a lot to a ton. So I got rid of the ones that cost a ton because they were an outlier, and then I got rid of the ones that cost the least because they were an outlier. And I worked with like the 5 or 6 that were in the middle. And then I went to their websites. There was actually one of them who didn't even have a website. So I was like, okay, well, how am I supposed to learn more about you if you don't even have a website? So they already had in my mind, they already had an X next to their name. But I went to this guy's website, and it was really professional. It was really nice looking, and the guy was really professional too. A lot of the guys were professional, but then I went to his website. I was like, wow, this really reflects well on his business, because he's professional, his website's professional, he cares about his business. So then I scrolled down. I was like, okay, well, that's great. He has a nice looking intro picture, but what does he really do? Oh, he does houses in Somerville and Cambridge. Perfect. I have a house in Somerville and Cambridge. But wait, what kind of houses does he do? Because I live in a triple decker. And I scroll down and I see, oh, these houses look like, we're going to get to it. It's like he has a lot of pictures of triple deckers. Oh, look, this one is pretty tight. I live in Cambridge and everything's kind of tight, so he can do that type of house. He's confirming with pictures, with really nice pictures, that he can do the type of work that I need on my house. And it's presented very well. And this one right here is close to my heart, because he finished maybe a few days ago, and this is the front of our house, and he already has a picture of our house on his website. So not only is it a great professional website laid out very well, but he also is updating it regularly with pictures. So that's not the reason why. This is one of the important reasons why I recommended this guy for us to hire, is because he's professional in real life, he's professional online, so he cares about the whole package. He cared about the whole package. On the other hand, this is another person who came across as very professional when I interviewed him. So I went to his website, and this was it. I mean, I don't know if you can tell the difference between these two, the quality of these two websites, but to me, the difference was drastic. It's hard for me to read what he does here, or his name, or anything like that. He says he's in Cambridge, if you can read that. He's got an email address. This doesn't, even though he says he's in Cambridge, this house doesn't look like any house I've seen in Cambridge. There's no 1,500 square foot house in Cambridge at all. They don't exist. But he gives an explanation of what he does, which is okay, which is what he told me on his sales pitch. So then I went to his photo gallery, and he's got he's got 3 pictures on his photo gallery. Like, that doesn't really tell me too much, and they're all the same house. So then I go to his contact page. Let me contact him. Send him a form through his contact page. He doesn't have a form on there, but this is where he holds his picture. So his website's very confusing. It's not very professional. Even though he was professional in real life, I actually hired him for another job, and it turned out he wasn't professional. He didn't do a very good job on the house. So the way the way he acted during the sales pitch was different than he acts online, and the way he acts online is the way he actually acts when he does a job. So I just want to show this as an example of the importance of a website and how it really does reflect on your business. I showed you 2 examples, one business that had great curb appeal and one business that had very bad curb appeal, and that's how they both acted in real life when they did work at our house. So again, I'm Stager Sidekick. I make websites for home stagers. I'd love to work with you.
Mike, what can a new stager anticipate investing in a website with you?
So with me, so I have a, I recommend a new stager, a brand new stager, use a do-it-yourself website builder. So like I said in my newsletter, it really does make sense for a brand new home stager to do that. Once you start to get pictures, once you start to get business and get established, and you actually have the money to spend to get a professional website. So I'm charging a flat fee. I mean, it's very inexpensive. If you go shopping around, that's actually very, very inexpensive for a website. So get one now before the price goes up. But again, if you have something and you want something really out there, really complicated, I would have to charge some more. But home stagers generally wouldn't need that. But then I also do a monthly. I host a website. I do the technical maintenance. I don't load pictures and write descriptions and things like that because I do portfolio projects, because that's something that as a stager you know more about your pictures and everything like that to load them up and to label them and to talk about them. But I do the technical maintenance, like make sure the security's up to date, all the other software is constantly up to date. It all interacts with each other well, and I back up the website. Back up your website once a week, and a lot of things like that. And I also do support. So anytime you have a question, you have my phone number, you have my email, so I can easily contact. So that's a monthly thing that I do. But the hosting, I just want to talk about hosting for a second. Hosting is very, very important. Most anywhere else you get a website is going to put your website on something that's called a shared host, which means that if you're on this basically a computer with 1,000 other websites, and if one of those websites gets attacked by a hacker, like they can easily get onto your hack your website, or if that website was on Shark Tank last night and then they have millions of people going directly to that website, it means your website's basically going to shut down for that period because there's no room for anybody to access your website. So, but those are rare circumstances, but they do happen. It actually happened to me back years ago when I had my website on a shared website. It got shut down and it got hacked. But I use what's called a virtual private server so that I manage it. I manage the websites that are on it. I put very limited number of websites on each virtual private server that I have. So, and it's really fast, and it's, I'm maintaining it, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff, which is, it's very rare that somebody does that, especially at this at this price point. So, but anyways, so that's the cost and what I offer. So, any more questions?
What is your ideal client? What do they look like?
She's wearing a pink jacket. No.
So is it the brand newbie? Or is
No.
Okay,
The brand new one, the one who's just coming to their first meeting, who just got their certification. Okay, well, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, really new into the business. I recommend making your own website because they take time to make. First of all, they are very easy to use, but they take time to make. I'm not going to ask you how much you charge per hour to do staging, but I assume that it's more valuable for you to pay somebody to make a website than it is for you to take 20 hours or however long to make a website that looks presentable for your business. So at that point, it becomes kind of it makes sense to hire out. Like, it makes sense to get to have somebody clean your house as opposed to spending the 3 hours during the week to do it, taking away from your business. I mean, it's just one of those things. So I recommend a brand new stager use a do-it-yourself website builder and someone who's been in the business for at least a year when you're really ready to represent your business well with a professional website to contact me.
I have a question, and maybe it's not something that you help out with, but many of us with our photography, with our photographs, they really should be watermarked, and many of us don't know how to do that.
Yeah, that is
Not you.
challenge.
That's not you.
Mine are not watermarked.
Uh-huh.
If you go on my website and try to pull it off the website, you cannot.
Okay, yeah.
Like the way to do it is to right-click it and then save it. You cannot right-click anything off my website.
How
Yeah.
do you do that? How do you set that up? What's the secret
Well,
sauce?
mine are WordPress, and there's a WordPress plugin for that.
Okay.
So that, it gives the website privacy, so you can't copy anything off the website.
Okay.
A lot of people don't do that. That's what I do. Plus, I don't watermark it, but I copyright all my photos, and it's in the photo itself.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to sort of.
No, can't you just do a screenshot and do a screenshot?
You probably could, but,
Because I just noticed some of my photos of a particular staging I worked on
Uh-huh.
is on somebody else's site.
Oh, yeah, you can contact them and you can
Right.
tell them to take them down, but you don't want to have to do that.
tell them it's $50,000 or take the
Yeah,
pictures off the website.
Yeah.
Because it's copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Or credit it the right way. That's really what it's about.
Yeah, there's ways to do it. If you know Photoshop or all those things. I mean, I'm not great at using all those. It just takes time to add your watermark to everything, and yeah, I'm sure there's other ways. I think there's plugins for WordPress that you can have your watermark added automatically. I'm not positive, but I assume there probably would be, but I don't have an easy answer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome, Mike.
No, thank you.
The term, by the way, the term, and Lynn would back me up. The term I use for websites needs web appeal, not curb appeal.
Web appeal.
Web appeal.
Okay. I don't want to steal your thunder.
Use it.
I don't want to steal.
Right? We were talking about curb appeal in the last ASP class, and I said, no, it's web appeal. Because really, that's what it is. If your website does not appeal to the person looking at the website, he's going to go out and find someone else. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.